So I'm going to walk you through an iPhone 14 charging port. In order to do this, you got to get past the back glass. And in Apple's infinite wisdom, unlike the screen, when you lift up, you're lifting up on the plastic bezel. On the back glass, you're lifting up on straight glass. So if your back glass is broken, pretty much do the back glass at the same time. By far the most difficult part is getting past these little tabs. As you can see, here's the orientation, but tab 1 and 2. And then on the other side, these three right here. But don't worry, I'm going to walk you through all of this. And if your back glass isn't broken, well, let's keep it that way. Here are some tools. Use the coupon code, save 5%. And if you like my FBI shirt, I got a link for that too. Here are some tools that we're going to need, some heat, and this suction cup. If you don't have one of these and you want to not break your back glass, I would highly suggest getting one either from iFixit or from ideally eTech. Like I said, use that coupon code. Here are two opening tools. Once again, a lot of the stuff you can get at eTech. We're going to use some 91 or 99% isopropyl alcohol. We're also going to use some heat just to soften up the adhesive just a little bit. And then we're going to come in with our suction cup tool. And I had kind of a hard time here because the thing just kept slipping and sliding all over the place. But yeah, if yours cools down, just heat it up again. And then ideally, once you get which you'll see here in just a sec, you'll see a little spot open up. And then that's where you come in with some 91 or 99% isopropyl alcohol. There you go. You can see that right there. And then next, we use ideally a rounded opening tool. That way you can use this like rocking back and forth. And then some more alcohol. By far, one of the more difficult things is just getting past the first two corners. As you can see right here, I'm not using like a cutting or a sliding motion. I'm just using a turning motion. It effectively does the same thing without accidentally, you're less likely to slip. And now for the other side, and I'm trying to do this in real time so that you, have a realistic understanding of how to confidently do this. So to get this last bit of adhesive softened up so we can remove the back glass, I'm going to mention ahead of time that another reason why you want to use the suction cup tool is because of this flex right here. You really don't want to open this back glass more than about what you just saw right there, as you can accidentally tear or sever that flex cable, which is your flash and rear mic. And I use, just a spot of alcohol, and then you can see that we're just wiggling it, rocking it back and forth, and then it opens like so. And on this one, we only have 3 tri-wings, and then these 2 plates, and they...
So, first of all, if you've got this far and you think, hell no, I do mailings. Second, I also buy iPhones. Working, broken, whatever. Even if it looks like this, I'm still interested. Link in the description. Let's make a deal.
So before we disconnect our flash rear mic, we need to disconnect our battery. As you can see, I'm just lifting up right there, but there's a little bit of adhesive, so it's sort of fighting me. And then, yeah, that's our flash and rear mic. Now for the charging port. We have about 6 screws for the loudspeaker, and only one of them, which is immediately to the left, which is that blue screwdriver right there, is a tri-wing. So all the rest of them are Phillips. And then this last one right here has this little like flap thing. Don't know why they did that. And then we have 3 Phillips for the Taptic engine. And then that thing comes out pretty easily. Just like so. Next, there's this little bracket. You kind of got to wiggle it back and forth. Like scoot it to the left and right. And then Apple, in their infinite wisdom, does these things where they put some of these screws on the side. I'm almost positive all of these are tri-wing. And then we have this little doohickey right there. So you just need to sort of push that over and to the left. This is another sensor. I believe it's a pressure sensor. And yeah, we just keep changing up all these. Like that's a standoff right there. Yeah, they couldn't just make it with just Phillips. And then this is for the bracket that the lower microphone sits in. So it's not a bad idea to soften that up if it's, putting up a little bit of a fight. So we're going to pull out about 4 standoff screws because we're going to need to remove this little, I'm guessing this is the SIM tray in international markets, but it's just a little silver box in the US. But the stupid thing about this is the way it comes out, you'll see in just a sec, but there's a little hoop that fits underneath the motherboard. That right there fits underneath the motherboard. So we're going to basically need to wedge a spudger in, and then that comes out just like that, but you got to wiggle it. And I sort of wiggled it out. Yeah, it's not that difficult, I'm hoping, for you at least. And then, so when in doubt, just use a little bit of heat. Or isopropyl alcohol. So this is the other lower microphone. And then some of the other, I don't know, odds and ends that are snapped into the frame. And there you go. There's your port. And hopefully you have something to organize your screws. Once again, if you don't, magnetic mats are amazing. Check out eTech. Also, well, you want to make sure that those 2 little grounding brackets are in place. I remember the first time I did this, not this video, they sort of got knocked out of place, and I was wondering what the heck they were. Now, I'm just reinstalling. This is a tutorial video. This wasn't an actual customer that needed this. So I'm just going to reinstall this flex. But I start by inserting the flexes, and it's always a good idea to make sure that that your charging port snaps in properly before moving on to 20, 30 other screws. Now make sure that you fold that flex in this time. Once again, we're going to sort of use this wedge, lift up the board ever so slightly. That way we can nudge that in there. So this is the way to do it without removing the entire motherboard, which is, yeah. And we have our 2 Phillips right there, which sometimes it's easier just to use the tweezers and drop them in there like that. I believe that's a tri-wing, and this is another tri-wing. That's a standoff right there. And those are 2 more tri-wings. And even more tri-wings. That bracket, as you can see, sort of goes down. You sort of, what is it? In order to get it on, you sort of push down and then move it to the right. Now remember with our speaker, the tri-wing, all these are Phillips, with the exception of that one right there is a tri-wing. Now, you want to make sure that your battery is disconnected before you snap in your rear mic flash. And then you can snap in your battery. Now this is the part where I'm going to mention that loose screws have a habit of getting stuck along the perimeter gasket and a few other places, specifically your rear camera, because there are some magnets there, or your speaker, or your Taptic engine. The last thing that you want to do is go to close your back glass and then puncture something or crack your back glass. But we're going to, you see those 2 little brackets right there? We're going to sort of make sure that it fits flush into the frame. And then a little crunch, crunch. And we're done.